The termination letter rental agreement. What is a termination letter? A termination letter is a document one of the parties in a lease agreement sends to the other party in order to terminate the tenancy, not wishing it to end in the terms specified in the document, if any. A tenant might want to end the lease for various reasons: due to moving, having found a better or cheaper apartment, change in a lifestyle, or if a landlord is not fulfilling their duties, etc. As for a landlord, they might decide to send a notice of termination due to them wanting to occupy premises themselves, or sell them, if the premises poses a health hazard, if the tenant has breached the lease in any way, etc. Why is it important to write a termination letter? First, states' laws usually require a party terminating a lease to send a written notice to another party. Second, in the event of future disputes regarding the eviction process in the court, this letter might act as a form of evidence that the termination was legal. Without formal termination of the lease, the terms of the agreement will still be in force. For the tenant, it might mean that they still have to pay rent, or can be charged for damages even if they have already vacated. For the landlord, it might end in them being sued for illegal eviction, or if something happens to the tenant, the rented premises might be considered their last known place. How should a termination letter be sent? Whether you are a tenant or a landlord, you cannot just tell the other party that you are leaving the premises or they should be left the next day. Most of the states require you to send such a notice in advance, and the period depends on the state you are renting a dwelling in. For example, in most states, at least a 30-day notice is required to end a month-to-month tenancy, and at least a 7-day notice is needed when you want to terminate a week-to-week lease. Check your state code to learn how many days in advance a termination letter should be sent to the other party in a lease in your state. It is also important to make sure that the other party has received the termination letter and signed it. Choose certified mail or personal delivery option for this purpose. What should a termination letter include? A lease termination letter usually includes the following provisions: date of signing the lease, full names of the parties, the address, contact information of the recipient, the date of termination, the reason for termination, the date of inspection of the premises. It is recommended that both parties inspect the premises at the same time, and signatures of both the sender and the recipient. If you need a document written according to all requirements of your state, use our step-by-step document builder.